The proliferation of unlicensed firearms is an issue that deeply concerns law enforcement and affects the community. This Saturday, in recognition of National Gun Buyback Day, the Hampden District Attorney's Office is offering a buyback program of its own in conjunction with Bay State Health. Carolee McGrath sat down with District Attorney Anthony Gulluni to discuss the program and why he thinks it's so important.
So the event is Saturday. We will be joined by Bay State Health and members of the State Police and Springfield Police Department. And we are asking citizens from anywhere in the region to come and give us any unwanted firearms. No questions are asked. It's a completely anonymous process. And for any kind of regular gun, we give a $50 Big Y gift card. For any sort of automatic weapon, we give two $50 Big Y gift cards. So we're joined in partnership by Big Y, which is a terrific community partner, as well as Bay State. And the district attorney, my office, and me, and Bay State really join both the law enforcement and public health aspects of this effort. You know, we sort of see it as violence reduction and getting guns that are unwanted, maybe unsecured in homes, out of those homes and out of people's hands who don't want them. And Bay State, as we agree, certainly, and see the value in this, see it from a public health standpoint, that getting guns out of homes reduces the chances of suicide, accidental shootings, et cetera, that they unfortunately see too much of at the emergency rooms across the county.
And so no questions asked. So somebody has a stolen gun, somebody has a gun that maybe they found in their house, or maybe they know somebody in their house has a gun that shouldn't be there. They just walk it in and they walk away.
Absolutely no questions asked. We will have police officers or troopers there, but there will be no identification procedure, no questions asked whatsoever. So if the gun is unregistered or something of that nature, it doesn't matter. We take the gun, we give you the gift card, and people go on their way.
So I know that this is part of a larger national effort. It's the John C. Woods Memorial Foundation, and he was a surgical resident who was shot and killed back in the early 1980s. As a DA, can you kind of describe for the layperson what you see as far as gun violence in the region?
Well, by statute, I, the district attorney here in Hampden County, and district attorneys across the Commonwealth are responsible for any unattended death, which includes suicides, overdoses, and of course, criminal homicides. So I see a lot of these incidents going from suicides all the way to murders, and there is a significant problem here related to gun violence and homicide and suicides caused or carried out by a firearm. So it's a serious issue, obviously. And we think that getting those unwanted guns out of homes, one, to ensure that the wrong moment doesn't strike and a suicide is an accessible thing by way of that firearm, as well as sometimes breakings into homes, and those guns then fall into the wrong hands. So if they're not wanted, we want to get them out of those homes, out of people's hands who desire to get rid of them in a safe and responsible way. And we obviously, through our partnership with Big Y, are providing a little incentive to do that on Saturday.
And what are you hearing from emergency room doctors? I know you're partnering with Bay State. Obviously, this is a big issue, something that they see firsthand. Yeah,
it's really harm reduction from Bay State's standpoint and our standpoint. And Bay State, certainly in Springfield, at their ER is a high-level facility and serves the region. And regrettably, that emergency room and its doctors see a lot of gun-related violence and gun-related injury. And this is a small piece of doing that. Certainly law enforcement is a piece, and we work very closely with them on other efforts around that. But this kind of harm reduction by getting these guns out of homes, those that are unwanted, obviously, is a piece that I think we both feel very strongly about being helpful in reducing this kind of injury and harm perpetrated and caused by firearms.
So you've done this before. What was the response that you've had?
It's been terrific. We've done it 3 times in the last couple of years, all in partnership with Bay State and Big Y at various parts of the county. We've had, frankly, very busy days doing this, and we've had a pretty constant stream of folks coming in. We've had everything from antique guns to handguns to automatic weapons to rifles. So we take anything of that nature, and it's been very successful, and this is why we're doing it again.
Some people might look at it and say, is this more of like a PR thing, the national event, or does this really have an effect on crime? What would you say?
We believe it certainly does. It has an effect on crime, and it has an effect, as Bay State certainly sees it, in harm reduction and keeping people safe and making sure that guns don't fall into children's hands and guns don't find their way into the hands of people who are struggling in a moment and make a very, very bad, irreversible decision.
Okay. Talk a little bit about those who might be reluctant, because I know that you said there's no questions asked, but still, I mean, if they see a bunch of cops there, they might have, misgivings about bringing in what they have.
Yeah, you have my personal assurances, no questions are asked. Police officers are there, obviously, to handle the firearms. Those individuals are experts and trained to do so and licensed to do so, which is an important piece of this. They're there for safety purposes. But I can assure you, in the 3 times or so we've done this, I've been there each and every time, and there are no conversations if that person doesn't wish to even say hi and hello and how are you. It's a very simple exchange, often one that lasts 20 or 30 seconds, and folks go on their way with a gift card from Big Y and nothing else to take away and no other conversation. And
tell me a little bit about what happens to all of these guns, and you're talking about assault rifles that come into you. What do you do with them?
So they're responsibly handled and disarmed by trained police officers. And then we partner with a company that takes those guns and essentially dismantles and destroys them and uses the metal for scrap and melts them down and so forth. But they are first and foremost disarmed and made safe, and then they are taken in police custody and then given to the company that will destroy the firearms. Are you talking about hundreds of guns that will come in, on a gun buyback day? We've reached that number. We've been between 75 and I think 110 in the past efforts. So they've been very busy and very successful, and that's really why we're there.